My name is Brian Bechaver. I'm the District Wildlife Manager. That's our official title. We're more commonly known amongst the public as game wardens or wildlife officers. I'm from the San Luis Valley. I was born and raised here. My family's been here for probably 6 generations now. I figured out pretty early on I loved the outdoors. I loved the mountains. I lived in the mountains for a lot of my childhood, and I always wanted to just have a career that was in the mountains, and I love to hunt and fish, and that's kind of what drew me to this. I just have a lot of allegiance to this place. It's a good, solid, down-home, rural community that has a lot of really good people in it, and a lot of really good resources. This is a very poor area of the state, of the country. It's actually one of the poorest countries or poorest counties in the United States, and there's still a lot of subsistence farming and ranching, and people still rely on hunting for food, and they still rely on firewood that they cut in the mountains to heat their homes. And I think being part of that kind of gives you an appreciation for what's going on around you. The drought that we went through in 2002 was a pretty epic drought. It's referred to as a 500-year drought. It really impacted people's businesses and their lives. It really drastically affected the way wildlife used the landscape, and I saw that firsthand. And we're still, some of the management things that we deal with now, especially with elk, are still a result of that drought, almost 25 years ago. We've had a lot of outside entities trying to come in and take our water, pump it over the mountains. And that's one thing that has really brought the valley people together. I think that any kind of water source that we can develop anywhere is always going to benefit wildlife. We've built guzzlers, we've built water catchments, we've drilled wells and created drinker tanks for elk and deer and pronghorn, and every one of them have been very successful. And it's pretty satisfying to be able to know that you did that. And that's going to be there for a long time. It doesn't take long at all for the animals to figure out where the water is. You drill a well in a bone-dry canyon in the middle of nowhere where there's never been water for 10,000 years. And within just a couple weeks, you have elk and deer flocking down and utilizing that drinker tank, which is really kind of neat. We are more lucky here in the valley than a lot of people in urban areas are, because we know exactly where our water comes from.